Hey, what's up, everybody? I am Shara Prophet, the founder of Open Door Hypnosis and the Be Magic School. Welcome. As you come into the live, please feel free to share. I'm cold, so I'm putting this scarf around my neck. Um, uh, California don't know what it want to do with this weather, Chad. It's crazy. But as you come into the live, please feel free to share this video as well as tag your friends so that they can join in for Hypnosis and the Be Magic School. Welcome. All right, we got a little feedback there. Okay, here we go. Y'all know it takes a second for me to get aligned with Facebook. I'm gonna have to change that in the settings some type of way. But anyways, I hope you all are having a fantastic Thursday. Happy Jupiter Day. So before we get started, a couple of announcements. As you all know, today is the day that I am opening up the Mystical Money Mastermind 2.0 class for free audit. So far we are expecting like 40 people to come in today. So if you have not yet grabbed up your free pass, you can go to bemagicschool.org and get that. Now, coming up on Sunday, May 19th, we are also going to be doing the ancestral reparations ritual. And that is for Black Americans who are descendants of enslaved people. So if you would like to partake in this ritual, then I encourage you to go ahead and secure your slot. Now, I know it's a Sunday, so some people may not be able to make it, but that's okay. If you can't make the live stream, still go ahead and book your slot because guess what? You will have 60 days access to the replays, okay? The energy is still going to be in there, it's still potent, so you can absolutely still go ahead and participate in this ritual. And if you can't make it on Sunday, then you will have it already ready to go, and you can just go back and watch it. And you can watch it as many times as you choose to, because there is a guided hypnosis in that ritual. And that is going to help to reprogram the mind, to connect with your ancestors on a very deep level. And for those of you who have had hypnosis sessions with me and you have your own recordings, you know that every time you listen to it, you find something new. There's a new message in there. There's a new opening that takes place. So it's a very, very powerful process. Okay. All right, let's jump into today's topic. The devil is in the details. So change your narrative. What does that mean? First of all, let's talk about what the devil is. Okay, let's get a clear understanding of what that term means. Um, I'm getting this from truthunity.net. I like truthunity.net because they give you the metaphysical meanings of biblical terms, okay? And you all know that I am non-denomination. I don't claim any type of religion. I am a spiritual person, and I am also a mentalist and a scientist, okay? So I use my clinical training, and I meld that together with my spiritual practices and studies through different magical systems of different magical systems. Okay. All right. So first of all, according to truthandunity.net, the devil is another name for your lower consciousness. And I'm reading, this is some notes. Y'all know I like to look at my notes. I keep a lot of notes, okay, in my phone. So the devil is another name for the lower consciousness that is divisive. Listen to this. It is divisive. It divides, fragments, and is in opposition to the Christ consciousness, which is what? Elevated thinking, another way of thinking outside of the box, the realm of possibility, right? Heaven. Some people refer to it as heaven, right? Higher thoughts, higher mind, okay? Higher consciousness, the God mind, the super conscious, all right? That's what the Christ consciousness is, okay? So when people say, Christ is returning, it's not necessarily a man, walking out of a cloud as some of those pictures portray. And I don't know, listen, it might be, I don't know, child, but from the studies that I have done and also going within to my own, doing deep meditations and tapping into other realms and dimensions and tapping into other beings, right? Oh, y'all can't hear me? Well, I know the mic is on because I got the replay, the feedback from Facebook. If you all cannot hear, please let me know. If anybody else is in here right now and you can hear me, just say I can hear. Hold on, I can test it right now. Let me see. Right now, let me see. Yeah, I can hear. Okay. It's fine. Okay. Oh, you can hear now. Okay, good. So, when you know, like I said, this it might be a man that's coming back. You know, I believe that Christ has been here, has had many iterations of itself. Okay. I don't, you know, so that particular energy walking in flesh form is all of us, really. You know, we can all be that. We can all operate from our higher consciousness and we can all walk on water. All right. If you are tapped in enough, if you do the practice, if you elevate and shed all of your limitations, meaning your beliefs about who you are, your capabilities, your doubts, your worries, your fears, and also if you take your power back by no longer giving credit to something that is outside of you, okay? Or thinking that something outside of you is more powerful because we have this energy inside of us, right? So I'm not going to get too deep into that, but y'all know what I'm trying to say, right? When you know that the goddess is you inside of you, and the more you elevate and descend, the more you are able to see the evidence of that in your physical world. All right. Okay, let me get back to it. All right, so when we get caught up in the details of a conflict, has this ever happened to you? Right. And I want you to open your mind and apply this to every single thing in your life. But right now, I'm going to use an example of being in a relationship, whether it's a friend, a family member, your spouse, whomever. Okay. Being in a relationship and having a disagreement, right? You had a disagreement, then y'all try to come back and talk about it again, right? But instead of both people just saying, you know what, I apologize for that, you know, I didn't mean for it to go that way. Can we go ahead and just start again? Can we pick it up where we left off and just is it okay for us to just move forward, right? Instead of that, sometimes people will come back and rehash details, okay? And when we rehash details, that sparks up more conflict. Has that ever happened to you? Because see, your interpretation of what happened is very different of the other person's interpretation. Okay. The way you experienced it, heard things, felt things, your perspective was completely different from the other person. So now there's a new argument because now you're trying to get this person to see it from your point of view when they already have their point of view formed and they're trying to get you to see it from their point of view. Okay. That's the devil in the details. The devil is in the details. So think about it like this. Another example. You keep telling the story of how broke you are, how sick you are, right? How tired you are. And then you go into a whole story about why you're so tired, why you're so sick, why you're so outdone, why you're so broke, why you don't have any money. You go into these deep stories, right? And you give it all these details. Do you know that every time You go into that story, you are suggesting to your subconscious mind how things are and how things are going to be. That creates an inner conflict within you. So now instead of you having a conflict with another person, now you're creating an inner conflict because there's the part of you that wants to experience abundance, wants to experience vitality and energy, that wants to live a life that is free and, open and has a lot of opportunities, but you're feeding your subconscious mind details of why you don't have those things. So now you are creating a reality where you do not have those things. Do you see how that works? So if you're going to be detailed about something, you're going to give details, you need to change the story, change the narrative, and then put details that match the new narrative. So for example, instead of saying that you are broke, you don't got no money, everything is expensive, inflation is kicking your butt, the rich are horrible people, they've got all this money and they don't leave anything for anybody else. Okay. Whether that's true or not, that ain't none of your business. It really isn't. Because if someone is hoarding all of the wealth, which they're not, there's more millionaires being birthed every day than it ever has been. Nobody's stopping you from getting what you deserve and what you want. Ain't nobody stopping you. Nobody is in here like, oh, we cannot let her be rich. Nobody is stopping you. Just because somebody else got it don't mean you can't get it. Okay? Get that out of your mind. Okay? So instead of having that narrative and giving all those details to your subconscious mind, change it. I am the walking, talking, flesh embodiment of wealth. My life is the expression of infinite divine wealth in all of its forms. And go into detail about how that is. Just make up stories. This is what scripting is about. This is why people get up in the morning and they script out their ideal wealthy life. That's what they do. Some people are so stuck in the story because that's all they know, that they're programmed to retell the story. They're programmed to complain. They're programmed to focus on the conflict, focus on the downside of things, focus on the trouble and the danger. Everything gonna make me sick. Everything is costly. Everything costs too much. Instead of saying something is expensive, try saying that it's priced at its value. Oh, well, that's priced at its value. Okay. Because see, someone priced it that way because they saw the value in it. And your perception doesn't even matter. How you feel about them pricing something doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I may not want everything that I see, but I can afford everything I want. You need to understand language. You need to understand the energy of language, and you need to understand your subconscious mind and how it takes in information and how it processes information. I still have to catch myself sometimes telling certain stories. I have to catch myself instead of saying, oh, I have to, I'm having this problem, I'm sick right now, or whatever. I have to shift that conversation. I have to change the narrative. If I want to experience health, then I need to be having more conversations that imply that I'm already healthy. Okay. If I want to experience more wealth, I need to be having conversations that imply to my subconscious mind that I'm already wealthy, that I'm already living as if I have the things that make me wealthy. Does that make sense? And you may say, well, Shara, you know, I'm a realist. I can't lie to myself. But what if I told you that you focusing on the details of your lack, the details of your poverty is also a lie? Remember, everything is energy and you get to change it. You get to change it moment by moment, second by second, breath by breath, word by word, thought by thought. You get to change it. You really do. People's financial situations change every single day. How many stories have you heard where somebody said, you know what? One day I only had $10 in my account. And the next day I was a millionaire. Or the next day I had 50,000 sitting in there. Or the next day somebody, you know, offered me a job or offered me an opportunity that led to this and that led to this and that led to this. And now I'm a multimillionaire. Now I'm a billionaire. How many, and if you haven't heard those stories, you can, you know, check out oh, what is the name of that podcast? It's called oh my God, I can't think of the name of it right now, but this guy, he interviews a lot of CEOs. Oh, Diary of a CEO. That's it. Diary of a CEO is on YouTube. Check it out. Okay. It is something that I had to listen to when I was going through my stuff. Okay, when my business was like almost flatlined and I didn't know what the hell I was going to do, I started listening to that podcast because every single person who is a CEO and runs businesses or have run several businesses, they all failed miserably at something. Some of them had multi-million dollar, hundreds of millions of dollars, businesses that were generating revenue in the hundreds of millions, and then they lost everything. They lost everything. And then they got it right back and tripled what they had. Now they're running multi-billion dollar businesses, right? You need to listen to people who have pulled themselves up, okay? You need to listen to people who have not only pulled themselves up, but they're continuing the process of allowing themselves to become more of their true selves. You don't want to, you're not striving just to be rich. Like that's not the goal here. The goal is not to just be rich because money comes and money goes. Okay. The goal is maintaining a practice that allows you to remember who the hell you are, that helps you to navigate through potential hard times, whether it's financial hardship, whether you're grieving the loss of someone or something, whether you're having health challenges, whatever it is. You need to make sure you are well equipped with the tools to assist you through the navigation of those things. And we forget, some people forget. I know I forget sometimes. Sometimes you can get so deep in your pain that you forget how to heal yourself. You forget that you have the power to heal yourself. You forget that the Christ consciousness is encoded in your DNA, is in every cell of your being. You forget that. And that's okay to forget it because you're human. You were born on planet Earth. You're a human, okay? It's okay to forget, but at some point, you have to be reminded, okay? You have to be able to get back to that. And the way you can easily get back to it is by practicing it every single day. Have to practice every single day. The more you practice it, the more you put it into action, especially during the times when you hit those hard areas, right? The faster you come out of it. And it's not even about getting out fast or having something happen fast. What it's about is not wallowing, not staying in the details, okay? Getting out of the energy that separates you from the highest, truest form of you. So when we talk about the devil, we're talking about that energy that divides, that separates you from love. And the way you gel back, the way you get rid of the distance between you and source, right? Because you are always connected to source. You're never disconnected. Whoever says that you're disconnected, they don't understand. You cannot be disconnected. Just like you may not want to talk to your mama, but that's still your mama. Y'all still connected. Nothing's going to change that. Okay. You can never be separated from source. Not ever, because it's you. It is you. Okay. Now you can grow distant, meaning you're not able to hear the certain messages and things like that. Okay, because you're distant and you got a lot of stuff playing on loop in the background. You got that story, that narrative. You got the devil in the details playing on loop. So you can't hear nothing. And since the devil's details is playing on loop, a lot of times we will try to silence it or quiet it down with alcohol, drugs, sleeping, overeating, entertainment, over shopping. And as much as I love to travel, I know some people who travel to escape. Okay. They're trying to escape. All right. There are many different habits and addictions. Some people have to always be in a relationship. They can't just be by themselves. They always have to be in a relationship. That's codependency. All of it is codependency. Any type of addiction, you're codependent on a substance, a person, a thing, okay, an emotion, a behavior pattern. All because you're stuck in your story. They're stuck in the ruminating thought of that lack mentality, that poverty mentality. And poverty is not just about money. You can have a poverty mentality about a lot of things. But the way you combat that or you neutralize it is changing your narrative. Okay? Make sure I've covered all my bases because this is a short one today. The other thing is the more we separate from love, or distance ourselves from love, I should say, not separate. The more we distance ourselves from love, right? Guess what we're doing? we are getting closer to evil. What is evil? Well, evil is the opposite of good or the opposite of love. If I'm distancing myself from source and I'm getting deeper getting pulled deeper down into the details of my story, my lack consciousness, my poverty consciousness, right? Okay. I'm going deeper down into the lower realms and the lower energy of the self, getting further and further away from the Christ consciousness, further and further away from source, further and further away from love. Closer to evil. Let's talk about this. So, if I'm getting further and further away from love, right? That means I'm starting to feel as though I am not loved, I am not appreciated, no one cares, I don't have what I need. So there's this like anger and resentment that starts to grow. That energy, you have to do something with that energy eventually. That type of energy, those type of thoughts turn into entities. And guess what we have called that particular entity? We've called it the devil or Satan or demon. Because people don't know how to stop the rumination of that thought. Okay, sorry, the construction people outside. I'm gonna say that one more time. Those low vibing, low frequency thoughts, right? When they are left unchecked, they turn into entities that control you, that make you go rob a bank, that make you be abusive to pets, children, other people, that make you cause harm to yourself or others, that make you talk trash about somebody else, that make you, uh, you know, commit adultery. Call it the devil. But really what it is our own pain that we've not dealt with, never learned how to deal or process those emotions in a healthy way. You never learned how to do that. And they've gone unchecked. The details of the story causes you to ruminate and to wallow in the pain of the situation or the trauma, whatever it was that you experienced, that you keep going over and over again, over and over and over and over again, and over and over and over again, and over and over and over again, right? That energy, you got to do something with that energy. It has to do something, because if it gets so built up inside of you, it has to come out. Did you all want a very good example of this? Okay, is Them season 2. The guy, what is his name? Luke. I forget his name, his last name. But anyway, the guy that played the serial killer. Okay. Well, I don't think he was a serial killer, but I guess, yeah, he was. He was. You saw this inner battle going on with him, right? You saw him fighting the urge to hurt people, fighting the urge. He really didn't want it. He didn't want to do that. but all he kept seeing was blood. That's all he could see was blood. That's all he could see was blood. Because of so much pain, he was in so much pain from not receiving the love and the kindness and the nurturing that his sister got. No matter how hard he fought the urge, eventually he had to give in. He asked for help. He asked for help from his father. He tried to go see his sister. Okay. His foster mom gave him away. All right. All that pain. And because he did not know how to process it, he didn't know how to transmute it. He did not know how to change the narrative. He didn't know how to turn into the mother and the father that he needed. And I know how to do that. I know about that. I know about that. He didn't know how to do those things. So that energy that he conjured and built up and created from the seed of pain, that was actually a cry for help and a cry for love, turned into this entity. It turned into that demon that made him do some really dark things. Okay. Now, everybody's level of activity as it relates to having that particular entity differs. All of us are not going to run out here and like harm somebody or hurt somebody, but we may harm ourselves. We may overeat. We may overspend. We may constantly keep ourselves in debt. We might get into toxic relationship after toxic relationship, right? We may stay up all night into the morning Netflixing it, right? We might drink too much. We might smoke too much. Okay. I know people who get in fights as a form of punishment. Okay. But either way, it is giving into, bowing down to that entity that we call the devil. And really what it is just your pain needing to be transmuted. And the way you can start is changing your narrative. Rewrite your story. How do you want to feel? How do you want to live? Like, what do you want to experience? That's what you got to do. Okay. All right. So I hope that this was helpful for somebody. If you found it helpful, go ahead and share the video. Like I said, you can tag people in this video if you want to. And those of you who are already signed up for the Mystical Money Mastermind tonight, I will see you all in an hour and a half. Yeah, hour and a half. I'll see you all in an hour and a half. And for those of you who are interested in participating in the ritual that we will be doing the live stream of on Sunday, remember you have 60-day access to that. So you can secure your spot now. And then if you miss it on Sunday, just come back. Because a lot of you were like, hey, I'm not going to be here on Sunday. Are you going to do it again? And I'm like, that's okay. When you get back on Monday or next week or whenever, you can tap in and rewatch that replay as many times as you like. Because I don't know if I'll ever do this ritual again or when I will. I haven't received a download to do that again, to do it after this. So there you have it. All right. I hope you all have a fabulous Thursday. And I will see y'all tonight.